All right, so today we're going to really dig into something pretty profound. Neville Goddard's lecture called The Law. It's from February 12th, 1965.
Okay.
And, our listeners really wanting to understand, you know, what is this law that Neville Goddard keeps talking about?
Right.
How does it relate to God's promise? And, how can we actually use this in our lives? Like, how can this actually shape our reality?
Absolutely.
So we're going to get into all that good stuff today and prepare to have some big aha moments as we go through this, because it really is a mind-blowing topic.
Yeah. One of the things that struck me right away reading this lecture was Goddard's perspective on God's promise and God's law. He almost kind of blends them together. He goes back to Genesis 22 and talks about how God made this promise to Abraham. But the thing is, like Goddard says, there was no one with whom he could swear for. He was all by himself.
Right.
So Goddard's saying that, God being all consciousness basically made this promise to himself.
Okay, so God's promise is almost like this unfolding thing, this guarantee.
Right.
That's going to happen regardless of what we do or believe.
Exactly. It's like the cosmic stage is set.
Right. But then there's this law, and this is where it gets really personal for us, right? Because this is what we have control over.
Yes.
So how does that work? Like, if God's promise is this, like, unconditional thing, then how does the law even fit in? Isn't that kind of a contradiction?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Okay.
So Goddard says that unlike the promise, the law is totally based on what we believe and what we do. It's like if you think in the promise as this ultimate destination,
Yeah.
the law is like the car you use to get there. And he makes this really interesting analogy. God is faithful to his promise at the highest level, right?
Yeah.
But we have to be faithful to our own self-image at our level. It's like a personal commitment to ourselves. Like he says, unto myself only.
So it's all about, like, this inner world shaping the outer world, right?
Yes.
That's what it comes down to. And that leads us to this whole idea of the story we tell ourselves. Goddard connects this to that biblical phrase, in the beginning was the word.
Right.
But he says it's not just about, like, talking or saying stuff. It's about the whole thought.
Yes. It's like a complete,
Either.
a fully formed thought.
A story. Yeah. And he says something that is so powerful, where the story is there, the human characters are bound to come for. Where the story is there, the characters gather.
Exactly.
So think about that in your own life.
Right.
If you're constantly telling yourself a story about who you are and what your life is like, well, guess what? The universe is going to get to work making that story real.
Yes. It's like that story becomes the blueprint.
Yeah.
And the universe builds your reality based on that blueprint.
Yeah.
So if you want to change your reality, you got to change the blueprint.
Mind-blowing stuff.
Yeah.
So practically speaking, what this means is we need to get really clear on the story we want to live.
Absolutely.
What is that reality we truly desire? And then the big thing is being faithful to that story.
Yeah.
Right.
Goddard's not talking about like blind faith.
Yeah.
He's talking about holding on to that inner knowing.
Yes.
That unseen reality with that same unshakable commitment that God has to his promise. It's like making a vow to yourself, I will swear by myself.
Exactly. And you don't need anyone else to agree with you or validate it.
Nope. It's just you and your commitment to that vision. And Goddard tells this amazing story about a salesman from way back in 1948.
Oh, yeah. I love this one.
This guy wanted a bigger territory, and he wanted to be able to manage his own sales team. So he and his wife, they get together, and they really get into this imaginative act. They're really feeling what it would be like to have that bigger territory and manage those other salesmen.
So they're like embodying that reality in their minds.
Exactly. And what's so cool is that it actually happened.
Yeah. Within a year, he gets the bigger territory. He's hiring other salespeople. He becomes a sales manager, just like they pictured it.
Talk about the power of imagination, right?
Right. But then there's this twist.
Yeah, remember his wife?
Oh, yeah. She starts complaining that he's never home because now he's got this bigger territory. He's got all these guys working for him. He's traveling all the time.
Yeah, and Goddard kind of gently reminds her, like, hey, remember that scene we played out in our minds?
Uh-huh.
That's what we were imagining.
This is what you wanted. This is the play you helped create.
Right. And it really highlights this point that Goddard makes about how all the human characters that are necessary to make that play real are bound to come.
Yeah, sometimes the universe gives us exactly what we ask for, even the stuff we don't realize we're asking for.
Exactly. It's like we got to be really mindful about what we're truly imagining because it's all going to show up.
Totally. And that's a great question for our listener too, right? Like when you're picturing your dream life, are you thinking about all the little details?
Yes.
The good and the maybe not so good?
Right.
Because it's all part of the package.
Absolutely. Okay, so another story that really blew my mind was the one about Goddard's brother.
Oh, yeah, the one who wanted to own that business property.
Yes. Even though he had no money.
This one really shows the power of belief.
Totally. So Goddard's brother, he would imagine this sign,
Okay.
on this specific building with his family's name on it,
Mm-hmm.
showing that they owned it. And guess what? On the very day this property becomes available,
No way.
this guy he knows just kind of appears out of thin air.
Like an angel investor.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
And he finances the whole purchase on these crazy good terms.
It's like the universe just provided the exact person needed at the exact right moment.
Right. It's not just luck. It's about aligning your inner reality with the outer reality.
And it worked. His brother ended up being really successful in business.
Yeah, he did. But Goddard also mentions that his brother ended up being kind of lonely.
Oh, yeah.
Even though he achieved his dream, he was isolated in a way. So it's like sometimes getting what you want comes with these unexpected costs,
Right, like maybe he was so focused on the business success that he neglected other areas of his life.
Right, exactly. Because you think about what you're truly valuing.
For sure. Now let's get into this fascinating dream that Goddard had.
The one about the Fifth Avenue mansion?
Yeah, with the mysterious grandfather character. This feels like a really pivotal experience for him.
Yeah, it is. He's in this amazing mansion.
Okay.
And they're telling the story of this grandfather figure who could manifest anything he wanted just by imagining it.
Okay.
Like he could be standing on an empty lot and say, I remember when this was an empty lot.
Mm-hmm.
But he'd be experiencing the building in his mind as if it was already there. Completely real.
Wow, so he was living in the end.
Exactly.
Mm.
And that's the key Goddard took from this grandfather character.
Yeah.
It's about perceiving the desired reality as already accomplished as a past event.
Okay. And then the dream repeats itself.
Right. He dreams it again. And this time he finds himself in the role of the storyteller.
Whoa.
He's standing on that empty lot, remembering when it was empty, and then picturing the building.
So he's embodying the principle now.
Exactly. And that doubling of the dream that's really important.
How so?
Well, Goddard connects it to Pharaoh's dream in the Bible. The one with the fat and lean cows and the ears of corn?
Yeah, Genesis 41.
Yeah, and Joseph interprets it saying that the doubling means that the thing has been fixed by God and God will shortly bring it to pass.
So for Goddard, this double dream was like a confirmation, a sign.
Yes. It was like a doubled vision that solidified this whole idea of imagination as a law.
So this leads him to develop a really practical technique.
The I remember when exercise.
Yeah, he says to look at someone and say, in your mind, I remember when you didn't have a nickel.
Right.
Implying that they're successful now.
Exactly. Or you could say, I remember when you were struggling.
Yeah.
Suggesting that they're doing well now. It's all about shifting your perception to the end result.
It's about telling that story as if it's already happened.
Yes. And Goddard says this mental affirmation is the law in action.
That's huge.
He even encourages the listener to try it out in their own life.
You hear that, listener? Go try it out.
See what happens.
This all goes back to that fundamental idea that your imagination creates your reality. And it's a solo mission. Just like God swore by himself, we don't need anyone else to agree with us or validate our vision.
Right. We don't need permission.
It's our own internal commitment.
Yes. And that faithfulness to the unseen reality,
Yeah.
that's what makes it real.
That's what draws in the people and the situations we need.
Exactly. And that understanding brings a whole new level of freedom.
Yeah, you start to see that you're not just a victim of circumstance.
Right.
You're a creator.
Goddard says that everyone is free if they truly believe in this law.
We all have this power.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that promise of fulfillment, it's unfolding for everyone, whether they know it or not.
Even if you don't realize it, you're using your imagination all the time.
Every single day.
Exactly. And Goddard even mentions this quote by Robert Frost about the founding fathers.
Yeah.
Frost said that they believed the future in...
Not just believed in it.
Right. They
Yeah.
saw it, felt it, experienced it in their minds.
And they created it.
Exactly. And Goddard really roots this in Scripture, too.
Yeah.
He quotes Mark 11:24. Whatever you desire, believe you have received it, and you will.
That's the whole principle right there.
In a nutshell. And then he shares this amazing story about an artist who was getting ready for an exhibition at Disney.
All right.
Goddard totally believed in this law. So he told her, before the exhibition even opened, that all her paintings were sold.
He had that much faith.
Yeah, and guess what? They all sold.
Wow.
And not only that, but she had another exhibition after that.
Okay.
And all her smaller pieces sold out too.
That's incredible.
She completely credited her success to using the power of her imagination.
That's a powerful testament.
It is. So Goddard also talks about how he likes to use his imagination with things like paintings. He'll actually mentally step into the painting
Oh, wow.
and imagine himself interacting with the scene.
That's a cool practice.
Yeah, he's really bringing it to life in his mind.
Yeah.
And he encourages us to do the same.
To really engage our imagination.
Yes, use it actively. Make it a daily practice.
But he also mentions that sometimes there can be these unintended consequences.
Oh, yeah.
And he talks about this messianic power.
That's an interesting phrase.
Yeah, he's referring to the creative power we all have inside.
Okay.
And as you start to understand and apply this law, you might notice these strange things happening.
Things you didn't consciously plan or intend.
Right. It's like a sign that you're tapping into a much bigger force.
Almost like you're playing with a power you don't fully understand yet.
Exactly. Which brings us to that mind-blowing story about the letter.
Oh, yeah. The one that arrived before it was even mailed.
Right. Talk about impossible.
This one really stretches the limits of our understanding.
Yeah. But it shows that when this law is in action, the impossible can become possible.
Both the sender and the receiver were totally baffled.
Like, how did this even happen?
It shows that there's so much more going on than we realize.
Definitely. So to bring it all back, your imagination creates your reality.
And if you have unshakable faith in that power, you can make the impossible happen.
It's all about the story you're telling yourself.
And believing in it with every fiber of your being.
Without needing anyone else to confirm it.
And then Goddard shares this very personal story about trying to get tickets to Aida at the Met.
Oh yeah, the sold-out show.
He really wanted to see it, but it seemed like there were no seats left.
Right.
But he refused to accept that.
He wouldn't take no for an answer.
Exactly. So he goes to the box office, and there's this guy in front of him.
Okay.
And this guy's trying to pay less than what the tickets actually cost.
Like he's trying to pull a fast one?
Yeah, it's a weird situation, but Goddard steps in somehow.
Okay.
And long story short, he ends up with 2 of the best seats in the house.
Center grand tier, no less.
It's like the universe conspired to make it happen.
It's like some kind of divine intervention.
Exactly. And Goddard says that God uses everything, even the so-called wicked, to fulfill his purpose.
Even the guy trying to cheat the system.
Yeah, wow. So to wrap up this deep dive into Neville Goddard's The Law, the main takeaway is this: your imagination is incredibly powerful.
It shapes your reality.
The key is to consciously create the story you want to live.
And believe in it as if it's already happened.
It's a personal journey. It's all about your internal world.
You don't need external validation.
So as you go about your day-to-day, think about this. What story have you been telling yourself?
About your life, your abilities, your circumstances.
Could it be time to rewrite that story?
What if you started believing in a different reality?
One that's more aligned with your truest desires.
Because that's where the real magic happens.
In the realm of your own imagination.
You have the power to create anything you can imagine.
And that's a pretty amazing thought to leave you with.
It is.